Who Will Bell the Cat? Animated tale. In a cozy, charming mouse village, life bustles with activity. Mice scurry about, chatting and working together, creating a warm and lively atmosphere that feels both safe and inviting. Amidst their daily routines, an ever-present threat looms. A sneaky cat prowls the village, constantly hunting the mice, turning their otherwise peaceful lives into a game of survival. The mice, realizing the growing danger, gather for an urgent meeting. They fill a large, hollowed-out tree trunk, their tiny faces showing a mix of worry and determination. The leader mouse, distinguished by a small hat, calls for order. He urges his fellow mice to brainstorm solutions, emphasizing the need for a clever plan to outwit their feline adversary. The mice begin sharing ideas, each more impractical and humorous than the last. Suggestions range from building a mouse-sized fortress to creating a decoy cat, sparking laughter despite the seriousness. The mice gathered in the council hall, a chaotic mix of squeaks and scurrying feet. Each mouse brought forth ideas, from building a cat-proof fortress to creating elaborate traps, causing much laughter. As the brainstorming continued, the ideas became increasingly outlandish. One mouse even suggested hiring a dog as a bodyguard. Despite the humor, none of the proposals seemed realistic or safe. Amidst the chatter, a small but clever mouse hesitantly stepped forward. "What if we place a bell on the cat?" The room fell silent, then erupted in cheers and agreement. The excitement was palpable as the mice celebrated the ingenious plan. They envisioned a future where they could hear the cat approaching and live without fear. The leader mouse raised a paw, quieting the room. "Who will bell the cat?" he asked, his voice echoing. The once jubilant crowd fell into a stunned silence, reality sinking in. The realization of the danger sinks in, and an eerie silence fills the room. The mice exchange uneasy glances, their excitement quickly turning into apprehension and fear. Close-up shots capture the expressions of each mouth. Their wide eyes and trembling whiskers convey the sudden shift from enthusiasm to stark terror, highlighting their vulnerability. The leader mouse steps forward, calling once more for a volunteer. His voice, though steady, carries a note of desperation, knowing the importance of the task at hand. One by one, the mice start backing away. Each finds an excuse or quietly steps back, their collective courage evaporating under the weight of the daunting challenge. The leader mouse sighs deeply, understanding the gap between having a good idea and the bravery needed to act on it. The weight of this realization hangs heavy in the air. The mice slowly return to their daily routines, now more aware of the dangers lurking around. They scurry about, casting cautious glances, yet their behavior remains largely unchanged, illustrating their reluctant acceptance. As the scene fades, a message appears on the screen, emphasizing the lesson learned. It reads, "Ideas are easy, actions are hard," a poignant reminder of the story's moral. How will you bell the cat in your life? Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more engaging animated stories. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more animated stories. Your support helps us create more fun and educational content for everyone to enjoy. Respect boundaries. Goldilocks and the Three Bears animated tale. Ever wondered what happens when curiosity gets the best of you? Let's dive into the classic tale of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. This timeless story offers lessons for all ages. Once upon a time, in a forest far away, lived three bears in a cozy cottage. Their home was warm and welcoming, nestled among towering trees and vibrant wildlife. Meet Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear. Each bear had their own bowl of porridge, chair, and bed, perfectly suited to their individual tastes and needs. Enter Goldilocks, a curious little girl exploring the forest. Her golden locks glistened in the sunlight as she wandered deeper into the woods, eager to discover new wonders. Goldilocks stumbles upon the bear's house and decides to take a peek inside. The quaint cottage seemed inviting, and her curiosity led her through the door, unaware of the adventure ahead. Goldilocks, driven by the mouth-watering aroma, tiptoes inside the cozy cottage. Her eyes widen in delight as she spots 3 bowls of porridge neatly arranged on the wooden dining table. Unable to resist, she eagerly tastes the first bowl. The heat scorches her tongue, making her wince. Undeterred, she samples the second bowl, finding it disappointingly cold. Finally, she tries the third bowl. A smile spreads across her face as the porridge is just right. Satisfied and full, she looks around for a place to rest. Her eyes land on 3 chairs. She tries the first one but finds it too hard. The second chair is too soft, causing her to sink uncomfortably. The third chair feels perfect. But as she settles in, a loud crack echoes through the cottage. The chair collapses, leaving her surprised and slightly embarrassed. Exhausted from her explorations and the broken chair, Goldilocks decides to find a bed to rest. She wanders upstairs, hoping for a comfortable place to lay her weary head. She first tries Papa Bear's bed, but it's much too hard for her liking. Moving on to Mama Bear's bed, she finds it too soft and unsupportive. Finally, she lies down on Baby Bear's bed and finds it just right. The perfect combination of soft and firm, it lulls her into a deep, peaceful sleep almost immediately. As the bears return home from their walk, they immediately sense something is amiss. The door is ajar, and an unfamiliar scent lingers in the air. Entering the kitchen, they notice the disturbed porridge bowls on the table. Each bear exclaims that someone has been eating their porridge, with Baby Bear sadly noting his is all gone. The bears were shocked to see their chairs disturbed. "Someone's been sitting in my chair," they each exclaimed. Baby Bear added sorrowfully, "and broke it." They surveyed the mess around them. Moving through their home, the bears found more clues. In the bedroom, they saw the rumpled beds. "Someone's been sleeping in my bed," they cried. Baby Bear noticed Goldilocks peacefully sleeping in his. Goldilocks stirred and slowly opened her eyes. To her horror, she saw the three bears staring at her. Fear gripped her, and she quickly sat up, heart pounding. Without a second thought, Goldilocks leaped out of the bed. She dashed out of the house as fast as her legs could carry her, never looking back at the bewildered bears. From that day forward, Goldilocks always remembered to respect others' spaces. It's a simple lesson in boundaries. If you enjoyed this tale, like and subscribe for more enchanting adventures. Please subscribe, like, and share. Bravery Unleashed, Jack's epic beanstalk adventure. A young boy named Jack lived with his mother in a small village. They were very poor and had only one cow. One day, Jack's mother asked him to sell their cow at the market for some money. On his way, Jack met a mysterious man who offered him magic beans in exchange for the cow. Jack accepted the offer. When Jack returned home with the beans, his mother was furious and threw them out the window. They both went to bed hungry. The next morning, Jack woke up to find a gigantic beanstalk reaching up to the sky. Curiosity got the best of him. Jack decided to climb the beanstalk. Higher and higher he went, until he reached a land above the clouds. In this new land, Jack found a magnificent castle. He decided to sneak inside, hoping for food or treasure. Inside the castle, Jack discovered a giant living there. He quickly hid when the giant's booming voice filled the hall. "Fee-fi-fo-fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman," the giant roared. Jack held his breath and stayed hidden. After the giant fell asleep, Jack noticed a golden harp and a hen that laid golden eggs. He knew he had to take them. With a mix of bravery and stealth, Jack took the treasures and carefully climbed down the beanstalk. He reached the ground safely. Jack's mother was overjoyed with the golden treasures. Their lives began to change for the better, thanks to Jack's daring adventure. However, the giant soon discovered the missing treasures and started climbing down the beanstalk. Jack and his mother were terrified. Thinking quickly, Jack grabbed an axe and chopped down the beanstalk. The giant fell and was never seen again. Jack and his mother lived happily ever after, their lives transformed by Jack's bravery and resourcefulness. The end. Please subscribe to my channel. The Magic of Giving. Elves save a shoemaker. Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a kind but poor shoemaker. His days were filled with hard work, yet he barely earned enough to survive. One frosty evening, the shoemaker sat at his workbench, sighing in despair. He had only one piece of leather left, just enough to make one pair of shoes. Determined to make the best shoes he could, he cut the leather carefully and set it aside, planning to finish the shoes in the morning. He went to bed, feeling a heavy weight on his heart. As dawn broke, the shoemaker awoke to a delightful surprise. On his workbench stood a pair of beautifully crafted shoes, unlike anything he had ever seen before. A wealthy customer entered the shop that same day and was so enchanted by the shoes that he paid a handsome price for them. The shoemaker was overjoyed. With the money he earned, the shoemaker bought more leather. That night, he cut the leather and left it on his workbench, curious to see what might happen. To his amazement, the following morning, he found another pair of exquisitely made shoes. Again, they sold quickly, bringing him more prosperity. This mysterious help continued each night, and the shoemaker's fortunes turned. He became well known for his exceptional shoes, yet he still wondered about his secret helpers. One evening, he decided to stay awake and hide in his shop to uncover the mystery. As midnight approached, he saw two elves appear, working skillfully on the shoes. The shoemaker was deeply moved by the elves' kindness and wanted to express his gratitude. He and his wife decided to make clothes and shoes for the elves as a token of thanks. That night, they left the gifts in the shop. When the elves arrived and saw the little outfits, their faces lit up with joy. They quickly dressed and danced around in delight. From that night forward, the elves never returned, but the shoemaker's life remained blessed. His shop flourished, and he never forgot the magical help he once received. The village admired the shoemaker's generosity and the elves' kindness. The story spread, teaching everyone the power of giving and receiving with an open heart. And so the shoemaker lived happily, always remembering the magical elves who showed him the magic of generosity and gratitude. The end. Subscribe to my channel. Winter's lesson: the ant versus the grasshopper. A picturesque meadow, bathed in sunlight, bursts with vibrant colors and life. Butterflies flutter, flowers sway, and a sense of tranquility envelops the scene, inviting viewers into this serene, natural haven. An ant diligently collects food, moving with purpose and determination. Upbeat music underscores its efforts, creating an energetic and motivating atmosphere that draws viewers into the ant's industrious world. The ant, characterized by its hardworking nature, remains focused and unwavering in its tasks. Its dedication and perseverance shine through, painting a picture of resilience and commitment to future security. In stark contrast, the grasshopper dances and sings joyfully, embodying a carefree spirit. It leaps from one blade of grass to another, reveling in the moment with a contagious sense of freedom. The ant's relentless work ethic starkly contrasts with the grasshopper's leisurely attitude. While the ant toils away, the grasshopper indulges in play, highlighting two vastly different approaches to life and preparation. The ant tirelessly gathers food, carrying each morsel back to its nest. Its determination is unwavering, driven by the instinctual need to prepare for the harsher seasons ahead. In contrast, the grasshopper spends its days in carefree leisure. It hops from blade to blade, playing tunes and reveling in the warmth of the sun, seemingly oblivious to future challenges. The ant's nest gradually fills with a bounty of food. Every trip back and forth is a testament to its diligence, ensuring a secure and well-stocked home for winter. Meanwhile, the grasshopper lounges in the meadow, its music echoing through the fields. It lives in the moment, enjoying the fleeting pleasures of summer without a thought for tomorrow. As the days grow shorter and the air turns crisp, the ant senses the imminent change. It looks up at the sky, worry etched on its tiny face, aware of the approaching cold. Snowflakes gently descend, blanketing the meadow in a serene white layer. The once vibrant landscape now lies dormant under the cold embrace of winter. A silent transformation takes place. Inside its snug nest, the ant enjoys the warmth and comfort it had diligently prepared for. Sheltered from the harsh weather outside, it remains secure and well-fed, content in its foresight. The grasshopper, unprepared for the biting chill, shivers in the frosty air. Hunger gnaws at it as it scours the barren landscape, finding no sustenance amidst the snow-covered ground. Realization hits the grasshopper, filling it with regret. It understands the consequences of its carefree summer days. The weight of its poor choices presses heavily upon its shivering form. The ant, noticing the grasshopper's dire condition, feels a pang of compassion. Despite past mockery, it decides to extend a helping hand. Generosity replaces resentment as the ant offers aid. The grasshopper acknowledges the importance of hard work, realizing that the ant's diligence has saved them both. Through this experience, the grasshopper learns the value of planning and preparation for the future. The ant, seeing the grasshopper's newfound understanding, generously shares its stored food. This act of kindness fosters a sense of community and mutual respect between them, highlighting the importance of helping others in need. Their bond strengthens as they spend the winter together, combining the ant's work ethic with the grasshopper's creativity. This partnership demonstrates that teamwork can lead to a more fulfilling and balanced life. The moral of the story emphasizes the necessity of hard work and preparation, while also underscoring the virtues of generosity and compassion. Value hard work and to be kind-hearted, helping those who may not have prepared as well. This story inspires us to build a world where diligence and generosity go hand in hand. Please subscribe, like, and share. The truth about the wolf in sheep's clothing. Ever heard the saying, appearances can be deceiving? The wolf in sheep's clothing. It's a story where nothing is as it seems. Welcome to our animated story time. Let's dive right into a tale of trickery and deception of a wolf. Meet the cunning wolf, lurking in the forest, always on the lookout for an easy meal. His sharp eyes scan the meadow, plotting his next move with sinister intent. In the nearby meadow, a flock of innocent sheep graze peacefully, blissfully unaware of the lurking danger. They feel safe in their familiar surroundings, not knowing what lies ahead. The wolf hatches a plan to disguise himself as one of the sheep. With careful precision, he plots his deceptive strategy, eager to infiltrate the unsuspecting flock. The sheep welcome the disguised wolf, believing him to be one of their own. They continue to graze peacefully, unaware of the danger lurking in their midst. Blending in perfectly, the wolf bides his time, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. His patience and cunning are key to his deception. As night falls, the sheep gather closely, seeking warmth and safety. The wolf remains among them, his disguise still fooling the entire flock. The wolf, still in disguise, moves stealthily among the sleeping sheep. His movements are calculated and quiet, ensuring he doesn't raise any suspicion. Suddenly, the wolf reveals his true nature and pounces on an unsuspecting sheep. His predatory instincts take over as he seizes the opportunity. Panic spreads quickly among the flock as they realize a predator is among them. The sheep scatter in all directions, bleating loudly and causing a chaotic scene in the meadow. The shepherd, hearing the distressing sounds, grabs his lantern and rushes toward the pasture. His loyal dog follows closely, ready to protect the flock from any danger that may arise. Arriving at the scene, the dog instantly detects the disguised wolf. With a fierce growl, the dog leaps into action, chasing the intruder with relentless determination, teeth bared. The wolf, now stripped of his disguise, sprints towards the forest, his plan in ruins. He narrowly escapes the dog's snapping jaws, disappearing into the dark woods. The sheep gather together, still trembling from the scare. The shepherd reassures them, and they huddle close, understanding the importance of vigilance and the dangers that can hide behind friendly faces. The wolf, now exposed, flees back into the forest, his plan foiled. His once confident stride turns into a desperate scramble, realizing that deception can only take him so far. The flock regroup, grateful for their safety and learning a valuable lesson. They huddle together, vowing to be more cautious and to always look out for one another to prevent future threats. Appearances can be deceiving, and it's always important to stay vigilant. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this tale of cunning and deception, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more animated tales. Please subscribe to our channel. The Fox's Sour Grape Dilemma, a vibrant vineyard bathed in golden sunlight. Lush green vines stretch across the fields, heavy with ripe purple grapes. Birds sing, creating an idyllic atmosphere. A hungry fox enters the scene, his nose twitching as he sniffs the air. He prowls between the rows of vines, searching intently for food. His stomach growls audibly. Suddenly, the fox spots a bunch of grapes hanging high on a vine. His eyes widen with hope. He can almost taste the sweet, juicy fruit already. The fox's excitement is palpable as he crouches, preparing to jump. His mouth waters at the thought of the delicious grapes. He springs upward, but misses entirely. Undeterred, the fox takes a deep breath and tries again. This time, he gets a bit closer, his determination blazing. He readies himself for yet another attempt. The fox, undeterred by his initial failure, sets his eyes back on the tantalizing grapes. His determination grows as he gathers all his strength for another leap into the air. With renewed resolve, the fox makes another jump towards the grapes, this time coming tantalizingly close. His heart races, and hope ignites anew in his eyes. Despite his relentless efforts, the fox continues to fall short. Each attempt leaves him more frustrated, yet he refuses to give up, driven by the promise of sweet reward. Exhaustion starts to take its toll on the fox. His panting becomes heavier, and his legs grow weaker, but he pushes forward, unwilling to concede defeat just yet. In a final, desperate bid, the fox musters all his remaining energy for one last leap. He stretches as far as he can, but still comes up short, missing the grapes. The fox sits down, looking frustrated and defeated, contemplating his efforts and the unreachable grapes. His stomach grumbles, and he mutters, "Those grapes are probably sour anyway," trying to console himself. With a final sigh, the fox turns around and walks away, attempting to maintain his dignity despite his failure. His head held high, he ventures further into the vineyard. Reflecting on his experience, the fox realizes that sometimes things are beyond reach for a reason. He continues his journey, pondering the lesson learned from the elusive grapes. As he moves on, the fox stumbles upon a berry bush, its branches heavy with ripe, juicy berries. His spirits lift, and he eagerly begins to eat, savoring each bite. Contentment washes over the fox as he enjoys his newfound meal. The berries are sweet and satisfying, a perfect reward after his earlier disappointment with the grapes. The fox, now satisfied, nibbles on the berries he found in the bush. His eyes are filled with contentment as he savors the simple yet delightful meal, feeling at peace. The fox's journey teaches that sometimes our efforts might not yield the desired results, but alternative solutions can bring happiness. A quick visual recap plays, highlighting key moments in the story. From the fox's excitement to his multiple attempts and final contentment. If anybody of you've experienced similar frustrations, share your experience and feelings in the comment section. Like, comment, and subscribe for more animated stories. Red Juice World. Wit and bravery. Puss in Boots' grand adventure. Puss in Boots stands heroically, with a medieval village backdrop exuding confidence and charm. His sharp eyes and poised stance signal a feline hero ready for adventure. Meet Puss in Boots, the cleverest cat in the kingdom. With his quick wit and undeniable charm, he turns every challenge into an opportunity, captivating everyone he encounters. Puss in Boots and his master, a poor miller's son, face hardships. The miller's son, with dreams of a better life, finds hope in his clever, furry companion. The miller's son receives a gift: magical boots for Puss. These enchanted boots transform the ordinary cat into an extraordinary hero, opening doors to boundless possibilities. Puss outsmarts a group of thieves threatening his master. Using his cleverness and agility, he protects his master, showcasing his cleverness and solidifying their bond of trust. Puss in Boots convinced the king that his master was a wealthy nobleman by presenting lavish gifts. These were actually cleverly acquired through Puss's cunning and resourcefulness, impressing the royal court. The king, intrigued by the tales of this supposed nobleman, extended a grand invitation. Puss and his master were to visit the royal palace, marking the beginning of their rise in status. Puss set his sights on the ogre's castle, a menacing fortress that loomed over the kingdom. He knew that defeating the ogre would solidify his master's newfound reputation. Puss discovered the ogre's ability to shapeshift into any creature. This newfound knowledge became the cornerstone of his plan, revealing a potential weakness that could be exploited. Puss tricked the ogre into transforming into a tiny mouse. Seizing the moment, Puss captured the mouse, liberating the castle and securing victory for his master. Puss in Boots, with his quick wit, tricks the ogre into transforming into a tiny mouse, capturing him effortlessly. This clever plan frees the castle from the ogre's menace, securing victory. The king, deeply impressed by Puss's ingenuity, rewards his master with vast riches and land. This newfound fortune transforms their lives, elevating them from poverty to prosperity and respect. The kingdom erupts in joyous celebration, honoring Puss in Boots for his bravery and cleverness. Festivities fill the air with music, dancing, and feasting, celebrating the heroic deeds of this extraordinary cat. The story highlights the importance of wit, bravery, and loyalty. Puss's cleverness and unwavering devotion to his master pave the way for success, teaching a timeless lesson in the power of resourcefulness. Throughout their adventure, Puss and his master grow stronger and more confident. Their bond deepens, and they learn invaluable lessons about trust, courage, and the strength found in companionship and determination. The humor and charm of Puss in Boots are showcased through his witty remarks and mischievous antics. Finally, Puss in Boots enjoys a peaceful life with his master. The serene countryside and cozy home symbolize their newfound happiness and the rewards of their journey. Please subscribe to our channel. Earning rewards, The Little Red Hen's Tale. In a cozy farmyard lived a diligent little red hen. She was known for her tireless work ethic and caring nature, always bustling about with various tasks to keep the farm running smoothly. One bright morning, the little red hen stumbled upon some golden wheat seeds. She clucked with excitement at the thought of fresh bread, but she knew she couldn't do it alone. Gathering her friends, the lazy dog, the sleepy cat, and the noisy duck, she asked, "Who will help me plant these seeds?" Each one declined, preferring their leisure activities to hard work. Determined, the little red hen planted the seeds herself. She watered them day by day, watching as they sprouted and reached for the sun. Her friends watched, but did not offer help. As the wheat grew tall and golden, the little red hen knew it was time to harvest. Once again, she asked her friends, "Who will help me cut the wheat?" They all refused, making excuses. Undeterred, the little red hen cut the wheat herself. She bundled it and carried it to the mill to be ground into flour. Her friends continued their idleness, unaware of the lesson unfolding. With flour in hand, the little red hen returned to the farm. She asked, "Who will help me bake the bread?" Again, her friends refused, preferring their own comforts over the effort. The little red hen kneaded the dough, letting it rise, and finally baked it into delicious golden loaves. The warm, inviting smell filled the farmyard, drawing her friends closer. When the bread was ready, the little red hen laid it out on the table. Her friends gathered eagerly, their mouths watering. But the hen had a lesson to impart. "Who will help me eat this bread?" she asked, looking at each one. The lazy dog, the sleepy cat, and the noisy duck all wanted a piece, but the little red hen shook her head. "You did not help plant the seeds, cut the wheat, or bake the bread," she said. "So I will eat it myself." And with that, she enjoyed the fruits of her labor, savoring every bite. Her friends watched, feeling a mixture of hunger and regret. They realized the importance of contributing and working hard for their rewards. The little red hen's lesson was clear. From that day on, the lazy dog, the sleepy cat, and the noisy duck joined in the work. They planted, harvested, and baked together, sharing the rewards of their combined efforts. The little red hen's story spread throughout the farm. It wasn't just about bread. It was about teamwork, responsibility, and the satisfaction that comes from earning your way. In the end, the little red hen and her friends enjoyed many more loaves together, each one a reminder of the value of hard work and cooperation. The farm thrived, and so did their friendships. Please subscribe to my channel. Luxury versus simplicity, the town mouse's dilemma. In a quiet countryside lived a humble mouse named Max. He loved the simple joys of nature, from the rustling leaves to the serene rivers. One day, Max's cousin Tim, a town mouse, invited him to the bustling city. Eager to see the city, Max accepted the invitation. The city was a whirlwind of noise and lights. Tall buildings towered over streets filled with people and vehicles. Max felt overwhelmed but curious. Tim led Max to his luxurious home inside a grand mansion. The food was abundant, and the rooms were breathtakingly beautiful. That night, as they feasted on cheese and fruits, Max felt uneasy. The constant noise and commotion outside made it hard to relax. Suddenly, a loud noise startled them. It was the mansion's cat, prowling for a midnight snack. Tim and Max scurried for safety. Max's heart pounded as they hid in a tiny hole. He realized the danger that came with luxury. The city was not as wonderful as it seemed. The next day, Max thanked Tim for his hospitality and decided it was time to return to the countryside. Tim decided to visit Max's home too. Back in the countryside, Max welcomed Tim with open arms. The air was fresh, and the surroundings were peaceful, a stark contrast to the city. They enjoyed a simple meal of grains and berries. Tim noticed the tranquility and safety that Max's home offered. It was a different kind of wealth. As the days passed, Tim began to appreciate the beauty of the countryside. He saw that happiness could be found in simplicity and safety. Max and Tim sat by a gentle stream, reflecting on their experiences. They realized that contentment came from peace, not luxury. Tim decided to stay in the countryside for a while longer. He found joy in the calmness and safety that Max's simple life provided. The town mouse and the country mouse learned a valuable lesson. True contentment lies in a life free from danger, surrounded by peace and simplicity. The Curse of King Midas. Golden Touch Regret. In ancient times, there lived a king named Midas who ruled over a prosperous kingdom. He was known for his immense wealth and his insatiable greed for more. One day, while wandering his lush garden, Midas encountered a mysterious figure. This figure, a god in disguise, granted Midas a single wish for his hospitality. Without hesitation, Midas wished that everything he touched would turn to gold. The god, amused yet cautious, granted his wish and vanished into thin air. Ecstatic, Midas rushed to test his newfound power. He touched a flower, and it turned into solid gold. His joy knew no bounds. Midas ran through his palace, turning objects into gold with the slightest touch. He imagined himself the richest man on earth, his fortune growing exponentially. But soon, Midas grew hungry and reached for an apple. To his horror, it transformed into an inedible gold fruit the moment his fingers brushed its skin. Panic set in as he realized the severity of his wish. Midas could no longer eat, drink, or even touch another human being without transforming them into gold. Desperate, he fled to his beloved daughter, hoping for solace. But the moment he embraced her, she too turned into a lifeless golden statue. Grief-stricken and filled with regret, Midas pleaded to the gods for mercy. He begged them to take back the golden touch and restore his daughter. Moved by his genuine remorse, the gods instructed Midas to wash his hands in the river Pactolus. The waters would remove his cursed power. Midas hurried to the river, plunging his hands into the flowing water. Miraculously, his golden touch vanished, and his daughter returned to life. Though his kingdom was now littered with golden remnants, Midas had learned a valuable lesson. True wealth lay not in gold, but in love and human connection. The once greedy king now became a wise and compassionate ruler. He shared his tale far and wide, warning others to be careful what they wished for. Midas's story spread throughout the lands, reminding everyone that desires can sometimes lead to unforeseen consequences. The moral of his tale was etched into the hearts of many. And so, King Midas lived the rest of his days with gratitude and humility, forever cherishing the things that truly mattered in life. Please subscribe to our channel. Clever Crow's Pebble Trick for Water. A parched landscape stretches endlessly under a blazing sun, where a thirsty crow flutters weakly, searching for water. Its wings are heavy, and hope seems to be slipping away. The crow's need for water is palpable, a life-or-death mission, with every passing moment intensifying its urgency. In the distance, the crow's sharp eyes catch a glimmer. There, standing alone, is a narrow pitcher with a small amount of water shimmering at the bottom. The crow eagerly plunges its beak into the pitcher, but the opening is too narrow. Frustration floods over it as the water remains just out of reach. The crow pauses, frustration evident in its eyes. It contemplates its next move, knowing giving up isn't an option. The scorching heat presses on, making the situation more dire. The crow, after a moment of frustration, notices small pebbles scattered around the pitcher. It pauses, tilts its head, and studies the pebbles curiously, pondering a possible solution. With renewed determination, the crow picks up a pebble in its beak and carefully drops it into the pitcher. The sound of the pebble hitting the water echoes faintly. The water level rises slightly, giving the crow a glimmer of hope. Its eyes brighten as it realizes the pebbles might help it reach the precious water. Excitement fills the crow as it starts picking up more pebbles and dropping them into the pitcher. Each pebble causes the water level to rise a bit more. Despite the slow progress, the crow remains persistent. It tirelessly continues to gather and drop pebbles, driven by the promise of quenching its thirst with each effort. The crow carefully selects another pebble, determined to succeed. It drops the final pebble into the pitcher, watching as the water level finally reaches the brim. Relief washes over it. With anticipation, the crow lowers its beak, savoring the cool, refreshing water. Each sip brings immense relief and satisfaction, quenching its long-standing thirst in the scorching heat. Gratitude fills the crow as it looks around, acknowledging the small pebbles that made this possible. The crow spreads its wings and takes flight, leaving the now empty pitcher behind. It soars into the sky, carrying the lesson of persistence and ingenuity in its heart. Key moments flash: the crow's struggle, the eureka moment, and the final sip. The journey encapsulated in these visuals underscores the importance of patience and creative problem-solving. The moral of the story: the crow's journey highlights that clever thinking and hard work can overcome even the toughest challenges. The crow reflects on its journey, feeling proud of its resourcefulness. This personal touch brings a deeper connection to the story, showing that even small creatures can teach us big lessons. The story inspires everyone to look for unconventional solutions. It's a reminder that perseverance and innovation can turn obstacles into opportunities. The scene fades out with the crow flying into the horizon, symbolizing new beginnings. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more stories.
In the ancient land of Ayodhya lived a prince named Rama. He was the eldest son of King Dasharatha. Rama was a noble and kind-hearted prince loved by all. He was also skilled in archery and warfare. One day, King Dasharatha decided to crown Rama as his successor. However, his stepmother, Kaikeyi, wanted her own son to be crowned instead. Asked King Dasharatha to send Rama into exile for 14 years. The king reluctantly agreed, and Rama set out into the forest with his wife Sita and brother Lakshmana. During their exile, Sita was kidnapped by the demon king Ravana. Rama and Lakshmana sought the help of the Hanuman to rescue her. Hanuman and Sugriva led an army of monkeys to Lanka, the kingdom of Ravana, and waged a mighty battle. In the end, Rama defeated Ravana and rescued Sita. After 14 years of exile, Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana returned to Ayodhya. Rama was crowned as king, and his rule was marked by peace and prosperity. However, doubts were cast on Sita's purity due to her time in Ravana's captivity. To prove her innocence, Sita underwent a trial by fire and emerged unscathed. Despite this, Rama was forced to send Sita into exile as people continued to doubt her. Sita went back to the forest where she gave birth to twins, Lava and Kusha. Years later, Rama met his sons and was overjoyed. He brought them back to Ayodhya and declared them his rightful heirs. Rama ruled Ayodhya for many years and was loved by his people. Upon completing his duties on earth, Rama returned to the heavens, leaving behind a legacy of righteousness and honor.